center, and I wanted to play around like open spaces on different levels. So there would be like eateries to the top, and or like rooftop gardens or something. And I also wanted to play with different geometries to experiment with the board. That's why I did different shapes. For my second project, I did this wall, which was supposed to go in an art gallery, and the front wall was supposed to hold like sculptures or like vases. That's why there's holes, and then the back wall would hold paintings, which you can't see, but so it's kind of blank because you want the focus to be the paintings. Too much light. For my midterm project, my memorial was for the people who deceased in the Japan earthquake disaster. And I wanted to stick with the traditional Japanese architecture, but make it more modern since it was going to be in an urban setting. And I was a little confused at the beginning with what was meant by enclosed space, but after talking to Anastasia, and she told me to think about where it's going to be set, since it's going to be urban, and my subject was more serious, more sad, so I felt like it should be enclosed to give it a more private feel and more quiet, so that the people inside won't be disturbed by the noise outside. I also wanted to experiment with shifting and levels. So my foundation was going to be different levels, like up, kind of raised earth, kind of movement of the ground, and then the inside. So the roof, first of all, would let light in. Inside, the focus was the sculpture, and these dividers would separate. They would have the names of the people who died, and would create like private spaces behind the walls. These side walls are supposed to move up and down, so they're mechanical, and you can change the memorial, or this wall of the memorial, however you want, and it'll be a different memorial each time you walk into it, because the windows will shift.
I just start by saying this is like a really like gray blue. I mean it's really like it's just beautiful, but a lot of the things that I see going on, it's at the same, like while you're like respecting the people who died in the tragedy, at the same time like you're doing like a lot of things architecturally that I don't know, like for example, okay, so like the curvature of the walls,
Yeah.
it seems like that's something that you usually see on like a roof. So it's almost, okay, so that something the roof is not like the wall. And then like the pieces, like the windows that move, you get that screen just by doing those little inscriptions kind of on the wall. You get that screen feeling like a traditional paper, super thin walls. And, but then all of a sudden everything's fragmented and you can move it. So like, and then the ground level again, you're doing something there where it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
feel that there are like a lot of different ideas here that we've meshed together, which is great. And I would say, probably the next step, if you were to continue working on this, which you're not, but if you just do this a lot, is to kind of consolidate and edit, and something important for everyone to think about editing out. Like, you know, you're going to have a lot of different things that are good, and then you're going to have to edit out some of them, even though they're just as good. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of different ideas going on here, and I kind of missed a couple seconds of what you were saying, but I think that you have a couple different ways of like creating both a symbol kind of, you know, the
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
memorializing and or kind of a regional thing.
like every move you make, I can see it like, it's in a way like simulating disaster. Like the top, it's like tilted roof, so like that tips you off. What you would traditionally, no, that's purpose. What would traditionally be the roof is now the wall. You have fragmented walls, you have fragmented foundations, so everything's like simulating disaster and something that, it's like Japanese in a way, but in a way that you don't usually see it. So in that way it's very strong, but like she said,
but you would almost benefit from just cheap, like the cardboard, like are you imagining those as steps coming up to it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What if those were, say those were just square or round, you know, so they're a little more subtle and just responding to the actual structure at the top, and they only get fragmented in one spot, which is the entry, and then we have some type of signal as to where we're entering this, and then you come inside and then you see that move. Which is great.
Yeah, it's like overall, like take all those ideas and try to consolidate them in a way that is a little more cohesive, because there's a lot of strong ideas.
I would almost make those roof themes more violent, like the changes. Because you see where I kind of thought it was, because I didn't hear what you said. Those were like kind of a glitch, and not actually they are on purpose. So it's subtle, but it's also, I know this could be wrong, but maybe maybe they become bigger.
Because whenever, if you do something like that with the slants, then all of a sudden it's competing with the walls, because the walls, it's like a smooth curve.
Yeah, that's.
So like every move you make, it has potential for good and potential for bad. So like you have to find a way to like resolve all these issues, because if you were to make it more destructive on the roof, you have to figure out how you're going to do that without drawing too much attention to the walls. Like it's all like an interesting balance.
I feel like it's very well.